So it's Saturday morning here in Victoria. The party was a huge success last night. Darlene was surprised. She had no idea. Kent was able to keep that from her as well as everyone else. So it was fun. This morning we are enjoying a beautiful morning in South Texas. It's cool, the air is crisp, the sky is blue, blue, blue. It's just a gorgeous day. This is one of my favorite places to camp because it's always so quiet and the spaces are spaced apart. So it really makes it nice. This is our front door view, which is woods. If we'd have got out here earlier this morning, I'm sure we would have seen some deer. There's always deer out here along this canal in the morning and in the evening. Maybe we'll catch them this evening. I don't know. Depends on what we're doing today. But this is our campsite, and this is the queen of the campsite. That is the Memaw of the Memaw and Pop going places and doing things. Wave to everybody. All right. So we're having breakfast at Francis Marie's restaurant and cantina. There's a birthday girl.
6-0, big 6-0.
6-0.
6-0.
60.
Join the forces.
Man,
I know.
that's old.
I know. It's bad when the youngest one is
It's
there.
60. That's right.
Yeah, that's what I said. How's it feel to have the baby be 60?
That's so scary. I was sitting.
All 5 kids are within what age group? So 7 years?
Less than 7.
Less than 7? So this is where we're having breakfast. So that's how you start off breakfast here in South Texas with chips. Is it good?
Good.
Is it good breakfast? Is it good breakfast?
Very
I'm kind of
good.
close to you here.
Don't be getting close.
It looks good. I'm going to try some too. Who made it to join us for breakfast? And look at this taco. Now, that's a taco. That's a breakfast taco. Oh my goodness. That looks good. You going to eat all that?
Such a little taco.
I know, right?
Usually you get,
the guts.
golly. Those have, that has to be homemade tortilla. I mean, King got a pancake. He's on a little diet. Darlene, not so much a diet.
It's a birthday girl yet.
It's still
I still
your
have
birthday.
300 and something days.
That's right.
360 days.
You don't have to start eating good till you're 64, 65 anyway. You're good to go. Pam's plate. Oh, there is none. This is my carne asada. I have some eggs, some potatoes, some charro beans, and I have some tortillas coming. Oh, those beans look good. And here comes Pam. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
She's
what
gonna
Stella
like
says.
that.
Oh yeah. Everything went, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whether eggs ever meet.
There we go.
So,
Oh, I thought you were just having pancakes, Kent.
I did too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That looks good.
Meat good
Oh,
Pam.
and that's Pam.
Do you have any butter?
That looks so good.
No, thank you.
All right, we're gonna eat that now.
Hey Dad.
This is what we get to come home to
That is so
every
special.
time we camp. Every time we camp. This is what we come home to. Look at this. Let's see what you have, Gracie. Let me have it. All right, there we go.
Day trip.
Day trip to Shiner, Texas to visit the Shiner Brewery.
Yeah, they've got a restaurant in Moulton that their relatives run.
Look at their Clazel's.
Yep.
Steakhouse.
I bet that's what it was.
Moulton, see. It's not here, but it's in Moulton. We talked about taking y'all there to eat.
See, that's as far as that got, though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't pay for every meal. If my name was Glazel, I could.
Yeah.
If you was a mayor, you could.
Oh, the mayor? See, that's 2 strikes. My name's not Glazel, and I'm not the mayor.
Well, I don't know if that's a strike or a plus. Let's go on a quick tour of the old town.
Old town.
Kent knows all about Shiner and Czech history.
He talks about checks.
He doesn't like Czechs.
Oh, I love checks.
We're not talking about the cereal right
Oh, not cereal.
now. We're talking
Good
about
one,
the
Michael.
people.
Oh, okay. Here we go to Czechoslovakia.
I could take him on the 13.1 that I did twice here.
Yeah.
You did it twice there?
I sure did.
See,
This is
Amish
the old part
furniture
right
over
there.
Yeah, this is the old part by the tracks. Opera house. See, they had an opera house.
See, they had an opera house
been
over
there.
there. Oh, I see it now.
There's a farmer's market. One booth.
Hey,
I'm surprised for this town it's one booth. They might go to
There's a
Victoria.
Palace Saloon coming soon.
That's
Safety training. That building needs a little work.
Subway Cafe.
I've never seen a Subway cafe.
You have now.
We're
To
making
check
big
that.
changes.
What'd he say?
He's wrong for it. He pointed to that poor old lady saying, that's a check. That's a check right there. I recognize this part right over here. This, where I'm shooting right now, that was the original brewery, and that's all it was just that little front part when I was a kid. So it's grown quite a bit. I believe they sell a lot of beer to a lot of different places in the world now. It used to be just a local beer. This is Spetzel Brewery in Shiner, Texas.
That's what I ran across to finish.
That's the finish line for the
Right
Shiner
there is the finish, yeah.
half marathon. Cool.
And then
Look
you
like
have
look like he's fixing our lunch.
We got some good wood.
Yeah.
nice
Fixing our
fire.
lunch. Nice fire.
That's pretty.
Cool. Cool old van. One of the original delivery vans. No, it really isn't. I don't believe that was ever a delivery van. But the seats do look worn in it. Let's see. Pretty bridge. Go walk up this bridge. Wow. Wow.
It is wow. For such
It
a
is
small
wow.
town.
It is very cool.
Wait till you go inside. I don't think you're allowed to video inside.
I bet you are. So what you think of those checks?
This Ben Goshen, he's passed away now, but he used to do the artwork for CCA, I think.
For who?
CCA.
Oh, He did some good work here. That's a pretty cool picture. So what are we doing?
He's a tour guide. Starts in a few
That's a
minutes.
tour guide? We start off with a beer or we have to wait?
Or Spatzel.
Huh?
Either one.
Okay.
You
What
can
is
drink
it?
it before or after, I guess. We always drink it
You
after.
can't drink
Yeah.
it during?
Probably can, but you might fall off the balcony.
Did you know I sold Shiner beer? Worked for about 2 years selling Shiner beer in Victoria.
And you can bring a beer. So get yourself a beer and then we'll take out.
Let me get a beer.
Yes, sir.
I want to get a Shiner blonde.
Blonde? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just put it in the jar.
Just put it in the jar. I'm going to act like I'm putting it in.
And there you are, sir.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
And that's it. That's it. Looks beautiful. You want a sip? Don't make a face if you drink it and don't like it. Huh? I got the blonde. Yeah. What you gonna get?
Take the Shiner Bock.
Bock. You're going for the strong stuff.
Oh yeah.
You're not gonna play around. He wants the Bock.
Hard German.
Oh, you German. That's right. You Czech.
Okay, y'all.
You sure? You look Czech. We're coming. We're coming. A vlogger. Yeah. Yeah.
Is this going to be on Beer Diaries?
It is. And I have like 6 people follow my YouTube channel now.
For real?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome. I have like 3.
Get more followers.
Okay, let's just walk right out here, y'all, and then we're going to go up to the Heritage Room. So my name's Todd, and I really appreciate you guys coming to the K. Spätzle Brewery. And it's pronounced Spätzle, S-C-H-P. Does anybody know what Spätzle means? Don't say it.
Damn good beer.
Y'all don't mind, do you? No. Okay. Come on, Kent. Y'all look good on camera. I want you to know, y'all look good on camera.
Yeah.
Y'all do. See,
You can get in there.
wait. Let's get a reaction. Taste it. I just want.
It's good.
That's for somebody that does not like beer.
It doesn't taste like beer.
Well,
It tastes like a flavor.
we better catch up, y'all. All right. I'll make y'all smile all day. All I gotta do is point this thing at y'all and y'all smile.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce Mr. Cosmo Spätzle. Say hello, Mr. Spätzle. And hey, look at that. Look closing. So let me give you a little background on Cosmo Spätzle and what you're going to learn. So Mr. Spätzle got here in the early 19-teens from Bavaria. He was born in Rosenheim in 1873. Why is he so important? Because he brought the Bock recipe that very few people except the brewmasters know. Okay, that's why Bock has been so popular. It's really got popular. So there's a couple of things I want you to pay attention to when we watch the video. That's the video screen indoors. So number one, you are in Lavaca County. Okay, what does Lavaca mean in Spanish? Exactly. It doesn't mean the cotton. So in the 1800s, the agricultural staple was cotton. It was not cattle. So everyone turn around and look at the Shiner logo on the wall. The corrugated aluminum wall. That is a ball of cotton. And that's a revelation for a lot of people. They just thought it was a logo. Because of the fact that when Mr. Spätzle, you're going to learn about it, he would drive these county roads with a case or two of beer in a wash tub, and he would leave a bottle of beer on a fence post for the guys and gals that worked out in the cotton fields. It was a great way of marketing, but it was also a great way to share what he loved. And it really was what he loved. So, a couple of things to pay attention to. Prohibition. 1918 to 1933. This man was married twice. He lost both of his wives. Elsa died in 1921, And his first wife is the mother of his daughter that you're going to meet in the video as well. That plays a very, very important role in Shiner's history. And so there was German descent because of World War I, and there were 6,600 breweries prior to Prohibition. After Prohibition ended in September of '33, they were wiped out, and a lot of those were run by immigrants. So even Anheuser-Busch and San Antonio fell out of that. So pay attention to that in terms of Prohibition, and I'll tell you a story at the end of this. And then Austin, Texas. Austin was instrumental in the success of Shiner Pop.
Some of you might be familiar with the story of Shiner beers. Others may be new to it. We'll start at the beginning though, way back in the early 19th century, when there was a great wave of immigration from Europe to the United States. People from places like Germany and Czechoslovakia settled throughout the United States. A sizable number settled in South Texas and a few right here in Shiner. The influence these immigrants had on life here can still be seen today. But life wasn't always rosy back then, until the newcomer struck on something precious, artesian water. There may have been oil and gold elsewhere, but the first citizens of Shiner were equally happy with their water. Was this discovery luck or fate? We'll never know, but the artesian water flowed as pure and strong then as it does today. While Shiner had water, the locals still yearned for the taste of beer from the old country. So, in 1909, the citizens of Shiner formed the Shiner Brewing Association. The Shiner Brewing Association built a two-story tin brewery right here on this site and called it the Shiner Brewery. While Shiner was just beginning to brew its beer, a man named Cosmo Spetzel, a Bavarian with a deep love of beer, was looking for a place to live. Cosmos had trained as a brewmaster in his native Germany. Shortly after achieving that title, he worked for 8 years at the Pyramids Brewery in Cairo, Egypt. He then traveled to Canada and finally down to San Antonio via San Francisco before settling here in Shiner.
It took a long way.
When Cosmos arrived in Shiner, he quickly co-leased the brewery from the Shiner Brewing Association before he bought it outright in 1915. He renamed it the K. Spetzel Brewery, and, most importantly, he made great beer. The beer was so good that we still use some of Cosmos' brewing methods today, and his name still sits proudly above our front door. But the road to success wasn't always smooth. Cosmos and the brewery weathered World War I, then Prohibition went into effect in 1918. It was illegal to brew or bottle beer, but this didn't stop Cosmos, who spent 90 days behind bars after he was accused of bootlegging. This dry spell wiped out many breweries. It wasn't until 1933, 15 years later, the Shiner beer could officially be sold again. Despite these challenging years, the brewery thrived after Prohibition. Cosmos was generous with his success, and there was always time for a beer break. After a long day's toil in the nearby cotton fields, hard-working farmers around Shiner would often find a cold bottle of Shiner beer waiting on a fence post, left there by Cosmos himself. Cosmos sadly passed away in 1950, but his daughter, Cecile, Miss Seeley, took over the brewery and continued her father's dream. She succeeded in the role and was the only female brewery proprietress in the United States at the time. During Miss Seeley's 16-year tenure, Shiner beer's reputation began to spread beyond the town of Shiner, eventually rising to fame in Austin, Texas. Beloved by hippies and country folk alike, Shiner was enjoyed for just 3 dimes a glass at famous venues like the Armadillo World Headquarters, while the likes of Janis Joplin or Jerry Garcia played on stage. Shiner's widespread popularity in Austin was only a sign of things to come. The Shiner would soon be enjoyed by drinkers across the country. Since then, the Shiner Brewery has grown and seen many a legendary brewmaster pass through its doors. But the beer still remains as great as always, because we still craft each brew one at a time, and we age all our beer naturally. Shiner still follows Cosmos' original recipe that he kept under his hat. And we are proud to continue the Shiner legacy more than 110 years after it began. Cheers!
Come all the way in, and I want to close those doors so I can show you all of the diagrams on the wall. And feel free to take pictures as we go along. Just don't straggle too far behind because we might have another tour behind us. But we're pretty good about space. So we are in the brew house, y'all. And yes, that's where a lot of our cooking takes place. It's not for show. So then we put in the brew kettle, and that's where we add the hops. Hops are the flavor and the spice of beer. And there's dozens of varieties of hops. I was talking about the hops. That's when we add the hops and we add the flavorings. Okay, so anyone just speak out. Do you like Ruby Redbird? Anyone? Anyone? That's the grapefruit. Sea salt and lime, right? Weiss and Easy. That's done with dewberries. Okay, all of our producers, or a vast majority of them, come from Texas. So the grapefruits, the limes come from the valley down in the Rio Grande. The peaches come out by Fredericksburg, in one of those farms. The dewberries come from Brazoria, that area. I had some California people go, "What's exactly a dewberry?" I said, "Well, it's basically it's a wild blackberry, you know, and we make beer out of it, you know. So it's delicious. Weiss and Easy is really good, and it's year round. So then we can add that to that. So then the last little part that we would do, and this is all in a nutshell, y'all. After we cook all of that, we have to cool off that solution because lager beer needs to be a little bit cool in order to ferment it. Big Tex at the Texas State Fair will have a Shiner belt buckle on this year.